Okay, if you're tuning in right now, Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged here at the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, we're just going to spend a few extra minutes with our friend David Spoon from the David Spoon Experience at K-Praise 1210 AM. Dave is also truly a, as he calls it, local, national, and heavenly talk radio host. He talks all over the world. His show goes out all over the world through his networks and through our networks, and we're a big fan of his and also a good friend because we relate to his book, Church Disappointment, His Appointment, which is available at hisappointment.com. And we're making it, Dave, you've got a special offer on the price of this book. Will you share that?
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, we take no money from any money that comes in from the book. I know, it all goes back 100% to getting more books and giving it to people that can't do anything with it. But normally the book is $15.95, and we have a special where it's $10.95. Wow. So it's a pretty good discount. It's about 35-40% or whatever. And if they click on the link, they'll be able to access that directly. And then we always encourage people, if you read the book and you mark it up, that's great and you can keep it. But if you read it and you think it's good for somebody else, take it and give it to somebody else. Share it freely. It's like, that's our mindset. Push it around as best you can.
So hisappointment.com and then also daredisciples.org. We have a link to it on our website as well. And if you have any questions, you can call 800-992-0369. And Eddie, be sure to make a note of that on the radio shows as we're doing this for Dave, just so you know. Our, as you call, robo-producer?
Yeah.
We have to come up with a nickname for Eddie. We call him he's like our video producer.
For the YouTube channel, you mean, or?
Yeah, on the radio show, on the YouTube channel, put a note banner on there for Dave's.
Because they can't put a banner on the radio.
Yeah, not on the radio show. On the radio, on the radio
but
show.
Puppet Fingers, they can watch that.
On the radio show banner. This is the after show, you might say, on YouTube. So nothing is filtered on this.
There is no filter.
There's no filter.
Well, I've been told that a lot of times.
Yeah, no filter. So I want to know how you got swindled into doing a radio show in San Diego. How in the world did you get into this
I'm not trying to be offensive, so this is really what happened. So I've been involved in ministry and business for a long time. So being a Christian about 38 years, but being involved in business for, not that far different, probably about 35 years. And I've been involved in helping raise private equity, taking companies public, just going through this whole process. And one time we were working on a safety browser that protects kids on the internet, and we were talking to, of all people, Salem Communications before they became Salem Media Group. So we did this process, and we were working with them, and it didn't finalize, but we were pretty close to getting them to promote our safety browser on all the stations, which at that point I think they had like 96 stations. I had been put in touch with somebody in corporate, and it was a very influential person in corporate, and I had a chance to talk to them personally, and he asked me, he said, what do you think of Christian talk radio? What do you think of Christian radio? And I said, I think it sucks.
I love it. I love it.
And there was a pause on the other line, which I don't think he'd heard that ever, And I said, it reminds me of, hello, Davey, the claymation times from back in the 50s or 60s. It's like, there's, it's not that the teachers are bad, but it's tough to listen to 24 hours of, okay, here's one sermon, okay, here's another sermon, okay, here's another sermon. Even Jesus slept. I mean, there's a break here. And so in my mind, I thought, why isn't there more of a little bit more entertainment where you can talk, you can teach truth, but you can talk about the fact that the Padres aren't that good, or you can talk about the fact that this restaurant's fantastic, because that's a part of the Christian walk.
And life.
And then even in just things that take place with your own children or your own work, your own fellow work people, or any situation at all, it's just a part of life. I mean, when gas is $4.50, it's just as irritating to the Christian as it is to the non-Christian.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, let's talk about that. So I had brought that forward to this individual at corporate, and he provoked me with a very interesting challenge. He said, do you think you can do any better?
Interesting.
And, it's a terrible thing to say to a prideful Jewish guy who's a Christian, has a Baptist ordination and a Pentecostal ordination. So what was my response? Without even trying, I could do better.
Right. Right.
Of course, that's my response. And then he said, okay, well, we'll see. And then I got a phone call. I met with the general manager in San Diego. And then I got a phone call about 2 weeks later saying that we're going to put you on. And I'm like, great. I thought I'm going to do Saturdays because that was the original discussion.
Right.
It'll be kind of Saturday Night Live-ish, but with the Christian element. That'll be interesting. It'll be teachable, but it'll be entertaining. And they're like, great. We want you to go Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 p.m.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
like, what? What? And I thought, okay, well, I decided, you know what? If this is the door that the Lord has presented, He knows what I can and cannot do. Let's do it. And it was November 5th, 2012, where I did my first show. And we did a trial show, which went very well. It's for whatever reason, it's very comfortable. I had been involved in radio, but only in an extremely minor capacity prior. And the first show that I did, when I was done, I was like, that was fun.
I was
Yeah.
created
That wasn't
to
even
do
work.
this.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
And then I've been
Exactly.
doing it ever since.
Yeah, you're going on 4 years now.
Yeah, well,
You've been
3 and a half,
doing
yeah,
it.
so we're 4 years, and we do those little DDDs, little devotional
Yes,
diamonds of the
yes,
day, and that's when I'm reading
yes.
scripture and the
That's
scriptures
right.
become bold. We've probably taught about 4,000
Oh, wow.
in about 3.5 years.
Yeah, I-
so there's quite a
Wonderful.
few. You know, it's like,
Wonderful.
oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Yeah, we're listeners. Every time we're in the car, we listen to your show, and I love your format. I love that you bring an element. I love you bring this element to radio and Christian radio that does not exist. We changed the name from Dear Disciples Radio to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged because some of the same reasons. It's like, we are not that we're not in that box either. It's like
Right.
the Christian box we don't fit in because we value church, we love church, but I think that your book, Church Disappointment, His Appointment, is so important because Christian people hurt Christian people. We hurt each other through these boxes that we
Yes.
all put ourselves in. So it's refreshing to have a radio show that talks about real life.
Yeah.
And I love your weather report. I love your traffic report. It's like Dave looks out the window. Yep, weather report.
Yeah.
Yep, looks good, sun shining.
The weather's nice. Did you live in San
Yeah,
Diego?
right.
Was it? What are you crazy?
That's
This isn't
kinda-
Cleveland,
that's what you get.
I mean,
So, what has been your response in San Diego? How do you feel about the audience?
Tremendous response from a large amount of Christians. Fascinating response from Christians who have been hurt
Yes.
and know. So there's like that instant connection. And then we also have, listening to the show, we have atheists and agnostics who regularly
Awesome.
listen to the
Yes.
show because it's not about picking on them or even picking on a denomination or picking on anybody.
Right.
It's about finding our way through to drawing one step closer to the Lord.
That's
I
right.
mean, that's what
Exactly.
it's about. And in that process, being honest. So we don't understand how an atheist person thinks, but it's not that they don't exist. And so, there's a way to communicate and a way not to communicate. And I think the show at least brings the notion that we can look at this and examine this together. Not agree, but examine it together.
Right.
It's like, okay.
And you're not afraid to have people on the show that don't agree with you.
I have a lot of people on the show that don't agree with me. And I get a lot of emails. I get some emails that are like, they're very life-giving. And then there's
Yeah.
other emails that are like, they wish
Yeah.
it was life
I know.
withdrawing.
We're the same way. It's
Yeah,
like
that
we have the
happens
same
on a
thing.
pretty regular basis like that.
We have the same thing.
you
If
gotta
we
do the best.
argue on the radio, we'll have people that call in or write in and go, are they fighting? Did
Are
they
they
break
okay?
up? Are they
Yeah.
okay? It's like, we just disagree,
Yeah.
But sometimes Christians are so afraid of conflict. It's like, oh my goodness, so you don't disagree. I'm sorry, it's life.
Well, that's so true to the point where now the church, because it doesn't want to have conflict with the world,
Right.
won't say anything.
Right.
And I
Right.
just did a DDD the other day on the fact that somebody in the political race said we should just get over it when the world is doing something different. And 1 Timothy 3:15 says that the
interesting.
church is the pillar and foundation of the truth. You don't get over it, you declare the truth. And if they don't accept the truth, that you can't do anything about that.
Right.
You don't no realm there. But you don't just cower, become a mouse, and disappear.
Right,
And
right.
even a church mouse, by the way, makes noise, or you wouldn't know it's there.
Right.
So I mean, you gotta
yeah,
have some
the
kind
church
of.
becomes very, I think, almost apathetic in
Yes,
some ways.
exactly.
It's like we're not doing anything. And
Overly complacent.
I'd rather stir something up. Jesus
Passive.
says, I'd rather you be hot or cold, but don't be lukewarm.
Exactly.
I'll
exactly.
vomit you out.
And if you think about the process, Jesus I mean, there's this mentality where Jesus walks around and he's going peace and he's got beads and puts flowers in Pharisees' ears or something. It's like it's like this was a person who was very specific. Sheep over there, goat over there, there's nothing else. That's pretty divisive. I mean, no matter what you say.
Well, my favorite thing about Jesus is whenever he told them in John chapter 8 when he says, you worship your father, the devil. And he's talking about, and they go, our father Abraham. Our father's Abraham. And he's saying, no, your father, you worship the devil.
I mean, that is
if
conflict.
you don't believe in me as your father, my father God, if you don't believe in me, then your father Abraham is the wrong father. I mean, it's like, when he gets into all of this, can you imagine?
I think when
were
even on Sermon on the Mount, I mean, I think it's 5 or 7 times where he goes, but I say unto you, but I say unto you. That's
right.
like going, you know what these guys said?
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Listen to what I say.
Right,
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a change.
It's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
to say to a Jewish audience, eat my flesh and drink my blood. I mean, that would just be like, what? You know, heresy.
It's funny.
So,
Amazing stuff.
We could go on and on. Dave, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We'll have you back on, and we'll be back, I'm sure, on your show.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
love coming on the David Spoon Experience. And again, you are watching the after show here at Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Don't forget, you can check out Dave on Facebook. I do encourage you to go to facebook.com, keyword David Spoon Experience, and like his show. He does a lot. He posts every day. I was liking one of his scriptures and devotionals he posts every day. Lots of stuff going on there. And don't forget, if you're in San Diego, from 2 to 4 p.m. every day at 12:10 a.m. And you can live stream, get the KPRZ.com, download the app, and live stream all over the world his show every day, as well as ours at 10:30 a.m. Use the technology, okay? Tell your friends, tell your family across the world to get in and get involved. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged right here. We hope to see you again soon. God bless and take care.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online. For more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee. Subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.